Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is my live Married to Medicine review. I thank you all. Like the video on the way in, please. Happy Monday. Good morning. And we're going to go into the season 11 reunion. This is the first part of the reunion. They have 3 episodes. So Married to Medicine feel like they needed 3 episodes on the reunion, and that is what they've done. I haven't watched my news yet, but today I'm in the Roland Martin Unfiltered t-shirt, and he's over there speaking loudly about events, politics, and a little bit of everything. So I do love Roland Martin. Okay, let's start the Married to Medicine review. Just like the video as you come in. Welcome in. Thank you. If you're in the bushes, like the video, and I thank you so much for stopping in. Okay, we have the introduction. You know how they show them on the street walking into the New York Bravo studios. We see Simone and Toya on the street. Both of them like they have some type issue as they're walking in. Welcome in, Mama B's, my moderator. Happy Monday. Thank you for coming in. Toya is saying that she's ready for this reunion. And Dr. Simone is saying that 1 or 2 people are not going to be there, and that this is accountability day, and some of the ladies lack accountability. Simone, pot, meat, kettle, because Simone doesn't hold herself responsible for anything that happens. So next, as we get into the New York Bravo studios, we see Bravo Andy going around to the different ladies' rooms. We have Toya in her own room. We have Eugene and her stylist and everything's are in there too. Her dress is very elaborate, but it's really pretty. It's some type flower theme, and then the bottom is huge. Simone, Dr. Simone is dressed like, you know how when you have the wedding showers and they put the bride in the toilet paper dress? That's how Simone's dress looks like. It looks like Charmin. It's got this big bow on it or something. I didn't like Simone's look at all. And she and Jackie are still speculating on whether or not Phaedra's going to be there. I tell you, for somebody who didn't mean anything to the show and they sure talk about Phaedra a lot. So we already know Phaedra didn't come to New York for that reunion. She was in New York because she was on IG posting pictures, but she didn't go to the reunion. And I don't blame her. They said 1 or 2 people. They were also speculating whether or not they could scare Sweet Tea away. They didn't. Sweet Tea showed up and tried to defend herself, but we'll get into that later. Toya reveals that on the stage, she reveals that she spoke with Phaedra. And Phaedra said she wouldn't help that show for Ish. And no, she's not coming. Andy's being messy. He shows clips of Phaedra saying that she didn't miss anything about the show. It's a group of mean girls, the type of Black women that don't like other Black women and are mean to them because they're fat, funny looking. Toya went in on them. She called them demonic. She called those ladies all kind of names. And their faces, they had the poker faces, but they were very bothered. And Quad saying, who is she referring to? You, Quad. She's referring to you. Even though last season, Quad and Phaedra appeared to be okay, because they're the same type person, party type girls, divorced women. And actually, Phaedra was the one who brought Quad to Sweet Tea shower when none of the other ladies wanted to film with her. That's going to come up later. But Quad and Phaedra have since fell out, and none of them have kind words for Phaedra. The only one not saying anything negative was Sweet Tea, and I don't believe Contessa said anything. Contessa said, oh, she gave you her Ada kiss. She's talking to the rest of them because Contessa didn't really do anything to Phaedra other than a few little slick lines. So Simone saying, well, she's calling us mean girls. We've never done anything that deep. Simone she's kind of infuriating to me because what she's referring to is the rumor about Phaedra spreading a rumor that a producer gave her about Candy and Todd that got Phaedra paused. I would say fired, but she's back on Bravo, and she's always been welcome on other Bravo shows, including the Real Housewives Girls Trip that they do series. She's been on other Universal things, Dancing with the Stars, which Simone is bothered about. She constantly refers to, and I don't get why they always bring up the things that Phaedra has been allowed to do in reference to what they're allowed to do. And Simone, it's not Phaedra's fault that Universal NBC likes working with her and that they haven't invited you or Dr. Jackie or Toya or any other ladies, even Quad, to do anything else. We could see one of you ladies on Traders or something like that. We haven't seen it. I don't know that we will see it. But Simone's very pressed about Phaedra. After Andy shows that clip, he tells Simone that you pretended that you were Phaedra, and that was pretty funny. Andy pulls out a prop. Andrew Cohen, I thought that props were not allowed. He's the one that forbid props after Kenya brought a prop that caused her to get dragged by Portia. So Andy pulls out a prop. It's a fan with Phaedra's face on it. Simone, being the clown that she is, puts it up to her face and starts to mock Phaedra, of course, saying, I was on Dancing with the Stars. They had them vote me off because I was just too much for them. I'm going to get an EGOT, which is an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. Yeah, Simone, you are bothered. You are pressed and bothered by Phaedra. And Jackie pipes up to say, we have enough wit, we have enough personality, where Quad cuts her off and say, so you're saying that Phaedra is not needed? Toya pipes up. It's not a thing about her being not needed. This is the first segment. Y'all spent this whole segment speaking about somebody who didn't bother to come to the reunion. I heard she wasn't required to be there, but she didn't show up. And you're still talking about it. So evidently she's relevant in some type way. So let's move on from there, because I'm tired of them talking about Phaedra. That's all they talk about. Oh, Andy also brought up he heard that Apollo and Shireen are getting divorced. You know, Andy's always been infatuated with Apollo. So Quad turns that around to her. Well, because a person can be one way with you, but then with that new wife, he's the same old person. She takes a shot at Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea already. T doesn't take the bait. She's sitting there looking. So next we show clips of Quad and King acting out their relationship on screen about how great everything, this and that and the other. And Simone and Quad still have these deep issues from Napa, which we thought had actually been resolved. And they show Toya's in it. Andy says that the season felt like a resurrection for Miss Quad. Miss Quad, she got it. Quad claims that she works daily to get over the issues. And Andy said, really? You have to work daily on it? She said, well, it was the other issue that Simone brought up in New York. So they're referring to the tragedy again that Simone apologized for, even though Toya told her she also should have been apologizing for what happened in Napa. So Andy asked why Quad wasn't invited to Whitney. Simone said there were still some underlying issues with them that they had not solved and resolved. And we know that Cecil ended up inviting Quad, whom he looks on as a little sis. Whether or not Simone and her are feuding, Cecil still likes Quad, and Quad has a friendship relationship with Cecil. So he did invite her to Whitney. So she was kind of upset about that. Whitney is where they also saw Dr. Contessa back on the show for the first time as well. So they bring that up later. So Simone says that Simone used the word weird, that Quad had a king for a year and she didn't tell them about it. And Quad explains, I happen to agree with Quad. She said, we were not in a good place. We were not talking, and I don't owe you my life if we're not friends. So Simone is yelling that Quad gave her 8 kids for years. The other ladies are claiming that they didn't know that Simone was going to ask Quad to leave the Napa trip. I don't believe that. I think Dr. Jackie, Heavenly, especially Toya likes to look middle of the road, but Toya's involved in a lot of stuff too, because Toya was feuding with Quad at the time. And they flash back to the trip, and they did show all of them having something to say about Quad, and they did ask her to leave the trip if she wasn't going to try to be part of the group, meaning they did want to be involved in her life and be invited to those parties without the cameras there. Because we all know that Quad would show up for filming. They hadn't seen her when she went to Napa. That was the problem. She showed up for filming, but she had been having parties, and she parties with other type people, not this group of mean old ladies. She parties with the Love and Hip Hop women, Real Houses of Atlanta women, people like that. She doesn't party with the doctors, and they're mad about it, even though she and Heavenly claim to be friends. Heavenly and Quad are more united in having the same enemies. Right now, they have targeted Sweet Tea, and that's the only reason why the two of them are really friends. I don't see really anything in common or an affection or kinship toward them. I don't see it. Maybe it's there. I don't see it. So Heavenly lies that her apology to Quad was sincere. The rest of the ladies' apology was not sincere. Latoya gets it out of Dr. Jackie that Dr. Jackie said, my apology started out sincere, but when I knew I was going to do a back and forth, I just wanted to end it. Quad looks surprised. Quad holds grudges, so we're going to hear about this later with Jackie saying that. A viewer has a question. Andy reads the first question. A viewer wants to know, why is Sweet Tea always saying that Quad is jealous of her husband, Quad's ex-husband? Quad says she wants to know that too. Sweet Tea tries to explain it. I don't mean it like that. What I'm saying is that we had no issues, and then all of a sudden we had issues. So she started bringing Toya into it. So Toya wants to overtalk Sweet Tea. Anytime Sweet Tea is getting ready to tell a viewer Toya's role behind the scenes, she wants to overtalk Sweet Tea. Dr. Heavenly pipes up. She's giving her 2 cents. Quad ends up calling Sweet Tea country. Sweet Tea ends up saying that Quad is from Memphis and she's a Beverly Hillbilly. Simone and Toya found that really funny. So Quad, you see how these ladies already shading you, even though y'all supposed to be united against Sweet Tea, they're already shading you. So they bring up the Rolls Royce, and Quad's bragging on her king. Now lately, this isn't hit the reunion because the reunion had already happened, but in the YouTube streets, we are hearing that we're hearing on YouTube that the Rolls Royce might be a part of some type theft ring, something about vehicle identification numbers, disabling of tracking devices, all kind of stuff, y'all. So King did indeed give Quad a Rolls Royce, but who does it belong to? Somebody need to see the pink slip because we don't know. We don't know what's going on. So Andy is asking about King and how much greater the relationship is. Quad was alluding to the 15 times because Andy wanted to know what you do to get the Rolls Royce, and Heavenly pipes up. Oh, she went up from none in 2 years. Speaking about Greg, how she has shut Greg out of the room for the last 2 years, and then she's supposedly 15 times a week with King, even though they conspired together to give the answer. And we saw Toya say somebody's lying. And then all the viewers, a lot of them say, well, Sweet Tea was making faces and called them a liar. Toya said it too, because in the clip they showed it. Well, somebody's lying. And then King and Quad did confer before they both put down that same answer. Because to me, the figure was, it was kind of random that they both put the same answer. So, I mean, it could be true. I don't care whether or not it is true, but I was trying to get under Dr. G's skin, in my opinion. And Andy's like, well, also it's better. Well, and Quan's saying, I can just floss my teeth and this man gets excited or whatever. Andy, I understand why you stay in lawsuits, because to me, you are very inappropriate. I've seen other bosses do that on certain networks. Stop speaking to the cast about their intimate business. It's very nasty. And Dr. Jackie, you're not cute either. That's not funny. They claim that her and King gonna be wanting a baby soon, and the cameras are on Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea, she had her poker face on. Good job, Sweet Tea, because they're trying to get under your skin. They're trying to hurt you, and I'm glad that you know what they're doing now. So they get back to Toya. Andy has a list of rapid fire questions because Toya has named herself to be this truth teller. One of the questions was, who had the most work done? She says Heavenly. Who's going to have the hardest time telling the truth during this reunion? She lies and says T. We all know that that's Heavenly, because Heavenly's a big liar, y'all. I don't care if Toya's not claiming Heavenly is her friend. Heavenly's a big liar, but Toya lies and said the hardest time telling the truth is going to be Sweet Tea. Who needs to fire their stylist? Heavenly pipes up Simone. Simone said, F you, Heavenly, because it wasn't, she said the question wasn't even for you. It wasn't. It was for Toya, who of course says Sweet Tea, because right now she's on this Sweet Tea vendetta. So she says Sweet Tea. I would have still said either Simone or maybe even Heavenly. So viewer question about the silly Birkin bag shower, and Toya says that's not the only that's not the only Birkin bag. She has another bag, which is the first one. They're together in the new home. So Toya flexes. They point out to Andy, did you hear what she said? She got a new home. So congratulations, Toya. Toya ends up making fun of Sweet Tea again. I didn't have to move into somebody else's house and it's not rented. Sweet Tea said, I own my home. So she bit. Sweet Tea, you probably still should have sat back. I wouldn't keep addressing the somebody else's house thing. She married someone who is divorced and she moved into that house. So I don't blame them. I wouldn't keep, if I was Sweet Tea and Greg, I wouldn't keep addressing that, because that's not Quad's house. And that's another reason I got annoyed with Sweet Tea. She tried a scene with Mimi and they showed some of Quad's stuff in a box. That stuff should have been gone. You should have had movers come in and take anything she left and either donate it or put it in the trash. She didn't need it. So Sweet Tea said that Toya and Heavenly are instigators. Heavenly act like she wasn't listening, y'all. You know Heavenly listened to everything everybody says, including viewer questions and all of that. What? Somebody said my name? So T calls them out as instigators. She said, yeah, they wanted a situation between Quad and myself, and we didn't have a problem. And Quad admits, yeah, I didn't have a problem with you either. She said, but let me tell you, I came to your shower bearing gifts, trying to celebrate you. Untrue Quad. Quad came to the shower for camera time and brought by Phaedra because the rest of the ladies wouldn't film with her. Quad lets T know that she allowed Toya to force Quad to leave. All true, except for her coming in good faith. So Toya said, well, she was friends with Toya at the time. She thought Toya was coming from a good place. Toya denies it all. She started over talking Sweet Tea. Andy tries to quiet everybody down so Sweet Tea can get a word in. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for the live Married to Medicine review. And this is season 11. This is the first part of the reunion. Welcome everybody in. I'll go back and read the names after I finish the review. So Sweet Tea says they're coming at her and she's not going to sit there and allow it. Simone is so phony, everybody. For some reason, Simone gets up. Oh, because Toya, now you know they're coming up with this lie behind the scenes that Sweet Tea mentally can't handle it. I've heard Heavenly say that a couple of times. I heard that Dr. Mimi tried to do some type setup and have Sweet Tea film in her office. But Toya makes a statement and says, I don't know, you're just lying. I don't know where you are mentally. Sweet Tea hasn't lied yet. She's just saying that Toya and Heavenly instigated situations between her and Quad, which is true. And I'm a viewer. I saw them doing this. So Toya's saying she don't know where she's at mentally. Simone gets out of her seat, gets in front of Sweet Tea, and starts talking to her. I'm coming to you as your big sister, and I want you to know that this is not a place where we have to battle. Simone, you're lying. The reunion is the battle. Simone be at the top of her lungs, jumping up, popping up, getting ready to act like she's going to fight people. We'll see it in number 2 and number 3. But she's sitting there trying to, like, she's calming Sweet Tea down, and Sweet Tea's not even hype. So Sweet Tea, this is the thing that gets on my nerves about Sweet Tea, y'all. Sweet Tea had the nerve to sit there and say, well, she said, I don't know if it's a battle, but a bee can go to war. That's what they want you to do. They're lying that Sweet Tea's hitting them, pushing them, all this stuff behind the scenes. Bravo has shown us none of this. And I think they don't particularly like Sweet Tea. I think we would have saw those videos if that is the case. So Simone got what she wanted. She gets to look like the big sister. Toya's over there mad. Last season, I was the big sister. I don't know where all this heat is coming from, but Toya is mad at T, y'all. She's mad. I think because T outed her. So they, Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly's time is up. They show photos of the Dude Ranch. Andy is asking them, you know, how did it feel to try to resolve their issue? And then they show where Dr. Heavenly is shouting that Contessa's mother is stupid. Dr. Contessa is screaming about the mixed baby by the name of Kimes. Dr. Heavenly wants Contessa to know. She says, I don't feel like I know you. I don't know who you are. And Dr. Contessa said, I can say the same thing about you, which is true. So they argue again on whether or not Dr. Heavenly should have outed Contessa's marital business. Dr. Heavenly is sitting there saying, I didn't. I just told you to be quiet about it. But the whole thing started because Dr. Heavenly was on IG. She was on her YouTube channel in the closet answering viewer questions about Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa. And we could see it playing out on the screen that things were rocky between them. But Dr. Contessa claims that they're in therapy and things are so much better. Now, I will say as a viewer, this is the best season I have seen of Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa. I think that even if somebody's putting on for the cameras, it's not easy to do that an entire season. I think their relationship was a lot more relaxed, a lot more fun. I do believe that they are in therapy. I'm happy to see it. Dr. Contessa lies. I'm so glad. I'm glad that y'all are happy. I don't think Dr. Heavenly is happy for anyone. I think Dr. Heavenly is miserable and she would like everyone else to be miserable. And we don't know anything about Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly other than the rumors that people are putting out about them, which Andy's not playing with Dr. Heavenly this season. Andy says, has anybody else heard those rumors? Toya tried to pipe up. She hadn't apologized for the buffering. I've cut that part out. I was buffering for quite a while too. Apparently there's weather somewhere. So I apologize. We're going to come to the end of it. So thank you so much. We're still at the part, Dr. Heavenly. Apologize for that buffering. We're still at the part with Dr. Heavenly. So Andy is holding Heavenly's feet to the fire. He asked if any of the other ladies have heard about those rumors. And Simone pipes up and says, I had a woman approach me and tell me that she knows Dr. Damon and she had given her number. They put the camera on Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly is bothered. She said, "Do y'all believe that?" Now she's quiet as a mouse. She's finally, speaking at a Southern Belle's tone. And usually she's at cussing at other people's business, but now Heavenly's tame. She's meek as a lamb. "Do y'all believe that?" And then Toya said that she'd heard something about it too. And Quad claims she didn't hear anything about it. Sweet Tea is just looking. So we're going to go to next week. That was the end of the episode, everybody. So Andy is calling out Dr. Heavenly. I think he's finally sick of the YouTube closet. He'd been laughing about it for years when it was other people, but he's tired of it now. Thank everybody that came in. We had Mama Bees, thank you so much. My moderator, CC, good morning. Say good morning to everyone. Sharon Gobble, good morning. Thank you so much. Toot Latrice, good morning. She spoke to everyone as she came in. Everyone speaking to everyone. I do appreciate that. This was a pretty good review. And Sharon Gobble said that was the highlight for me when they turned on Heavenly's A. Andy seems to be getting tired of Heavenly. I believe he's getting tired of Heavenly as well. I'm happy to see it, finally. So I don't know if Heavenly is going to be paused or what's going to happen, but we've got episode 2 and episode 3 of the reunion. We're going to have the men come out. We're going to finish this situation with Heavenly. Dr. Damon's going to be there on the hot seat looking uncomfortable. Sweet Tea didn't defend herself as ably as I wanted her to. I think she fell for a little bit of the setup of them making her look mental, of them making her look like she would get physical. But I think she can remedy that because the viewers, when I'm in the comments, a lot of people are onto it. The Heavenly people are in every comment claiming that it's all T's fault and they don't know why she's so bothered by Heavenly. She's jealous of Quad, all this kind of stuff. But Andy sees through it. A lot of the viewers are seeing through it. And Dr. Heavenly, she's never chill, but she's getting a lot more of her own medicine. So I don't know what she's going to try to do. But I love the fact that Andy is going to put her feet to the fire. I love that. Toya, I'm a little disappointed in Toya. Toya tried to show herself as objective. I forgot to mention that lie Toya told. She said, "I tried to come on as someone that is friends to all of the new people." We saw Toya bully Audra's husband, and the only thing that backed Toya up of Audra, I thought Audra was a dentist. She's not. Audra was the attorney. Pretty Alicia was the dentist, and Heavenly started on her and her husband, asking Alicia if her and her husband had secrets, and then we found out about money that Dr. Alicia puts aside money because her husband is a misogynist, and they have 2 little kids. I'm just speculating that he's that. He's African, and he's very traditional, but Dr. Alicia makes her own money. So she was putting aside, it turns out to be, they were speaking of a certain amount of $17,000 that Dr. Heavenly told the YouTube people. And that was Dr. Alicia's business. So they all had an argument online. If we remember in IG, Sweet Tea and Dr. Alicia, they were yelling and going back and forth with Dr. Heavenly because Dr. Heavenly was running over them. But Toya and Audra, it got so deep with them. Audra brought Dr. Eugene and Toya's tax papers to a party and was reading the liens and all that stuff. And Toya got so upset. She was kind of dumbstruck, thankfully. And Toya's Detroit friend wanted to fight Audra. And it was broken up. And I think Audra got in a chest bump or something like that. But they got rid of Audra and they got rid of Dr. Alicia. And I would love to have seen those 2 ladies get another season. They only got 1 season in. So now we're on to Heavenly. So we're going to start the next episode with Dr. Heavenly. I'm looking forward to it because she seemed uncomfortable. Dr. Damon's going to look uncomfortable. He's going to lie on Dr. Greg that Dr. Greg flat out is refusing his patients. But what he doesn't say is that Dr. Greg, and he's going to bring it up, Heavenly called Dr. Greg an inflammatory name. And she tried to say that, that Dr. Greg dating younger women. Sweet Tea is close to 40. Okay. She's in her late 30s when she contacted Dr. Greg. So being called a PDF file, that wouldn't apply to Dr. Greg in any case. So Dr. Damon's patients, if I were Dr. Greg, I would be uncomfortable bringing in one of this man's patients and his wife is speaking this recklessly. So this is something that Andy is going to bring up. Dr. Damon is going to look uncomfortable about it. He and Heavenly are still on the hot seat, everybody. So I'm excited about that. But this was episode 1 of the reunion. I thank you so much for stopping by my live Married to Medicine review. And if you are not already a subscriber of Sandra P's Gen Extra, Please go ahead and join. I'm going to see you tomorrow night. I have a pre-scheduled, it's live, but I've already scheduled it for 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be just on my political topics, a few reality show fun topics. And then Wednesday, come right here for Dropping Extra Sassy Tea Talk. Also, go to the other ladies' channels as well. Tea Talk with your girl, Sassy TV from the 803, and Drop the Tea. We had a really fun session last night of just our quick reviews of the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. Cece, yes, everyone have a blessed day, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Goodbye.